dictates that it's okay or who wrote it. America is a nation of laws, and you either live by them or you pack your things and you get the hell out. There used to be a time in this country where people would say, America, love it or leave it. You know what? Might be politically incorrect to say it. Might seem a little old-fashioned by today's standards, but I say we dust it off from time to time. This is America. Love it or leave it. Brigitte Gabriel joins me now. She is the author of the New York Times bestseller, Because They Hate. Brigitte, how prevalent is abuse against Muslim wives in America?
Very prevalent. It's all over the country. It is in Washington, D.C., in New York, in L.A., in Miami. We hear stories all over the country from Islamic communities where Muslim women are being basically beaten with the Koran over their heads, being told that to be good Muslims, this is how you should behave. And sadly, Glenn, I have to break it to you, it is the truth. This is not a misinterpretation of the Koran. Here is what the Koran says. Surah 4:34. الرجال قوامون على النساء بما فضل والله بعضهم على بعض واللاتي تخافون نشوذهن فعظوهن واهجروهن في المضاجع واضربوهن.
Brigitte, we don't speak Arabic for the love of Pete. Hang on. First of all, I'm going to be fair here. Brigitte, you are not a Muslim. You are a Christian. I understand. I think you have a lot of credibility, etc., etc., but you are not a Muslim. And I also have to disagree with you. I know what the Quran says. I also know that in the 15th and 16th century, a lot of tribal passion was put into the Quran that was not there. And so there are those who believe in this, and there are those who do not. In the Middle East, it is rife in the Middle East with violence, and I get that.
Exactly. But it is the Arabic writing of the Quran, regardless if I was a Christian or a Muslim. I'm reading you what the Quran says in Arabic, in the language in which it was written. It says that men are the managers of the affairs of women. Those you may fear, be rebellious, admonish them and banish them to their couches and beat them. This is just simply translation.
I understand.
The sad reality is, in Islamic cultures, be it in the Middle East or if Muslims come from Pakistan, or from India or wherever they come from, sadly, those radicals who are still practicing the 7th century religion that has not been reformed like Christianity and Judaism have, those are the ones who are beating the Quran over their wives, and they're telling them, in order for you to be a good Muslim, you have to behave that way and you cannot rebel against me. And this is that's what's preventing many Muslim women in this country to pick up the phone and call 911 or reach out to many women's organizations.
Well, I got to tell you, first of all, there are very few women's organizations that are speaking. The key to defeating Islamic extremism is women. You empower women, and the whole world changes. And the National Organization of Women and others are not doing that campaign. And you know what? To their eternal shame and damnation, they are not standing up against this.
Exactly. Sadly, we need to empower the women from within to rise up, to speak up. We need to assure them that they will be okay, that they will be protected.
But you know what, Brigitte, they're not listening to this program. As I said in the opening monologue, a lot of them don't speak English. They're over here and they are kept in fear. They are being told that you must do it this way, etc., etc. They've been isolated from their family. You want to talk about, I mean, look, there is abuse that runs in my family. And it is shameful, and I don't understand it, but it always happens the same way. The individual is isolated from the family, and they are told things, and then they don't feel like they have any place to go. How do you get that message to the woman who doesn't speak English, who is in a foreign country, who is living in a wild culture, being isolated by other people? How do you get that message to her, that it's safe, come out?
You need the Muslim women from within the Muslim world and the Muslim communities in this country to start working together and reforming together. Women need to empower each other, and this is the problem. You have the Council on American Islamic Relations, for example, that is funded by governments from the Middle East. The Council on American Islamic Relations need to have women chapters from within it to empower the women. But sadly, Glenn, under Islam, they cannot do that because it contradicts the Islamic teaching. And this is a disappointing fact.
All right, Brigitte, thank you very much. The British prison system has become a breeding ground for Islamic extremists of the future.